People often ask me, if we regulate drugs and the market is controlled legitimately, where will all those gangsters go? Where will all the drug dealers go? Well, the common view, especially amongst police, is that criminals are criminals and they will just merely commit other crimes. Well, actually, it's quite a dangerous view to believe that someone is a criminal and that there will always be a criminal. And in specifically with the drug supply, I have seen actually how drug dealers are formed, how gangsters are formed. Virtually every drug dealer that I have come across have only been a criminal within the world of supplying drugs, most of them. You get the hardcore sort of middle management gangsters who do commit other crimes, but the vast majority of even the gangsters were tempted into crime because supplying drugs is so easy, it's such an easy crime, because most don't get caught. It's very, very difficult to catch people. It's a very difficult area to police. And I'll give you a specific example of many people I've seen, because my operations used to last sort of 5 or 6 months, and so I would get to know people quite well, both the problematic drug users, but also some of the gangsters as well. And very often I saw the personalities of these gangsters develop. And there's this one particular person who went by the rather unimaginative nickname of AB in Leicester. I was 16 when I first came across him. He was quite friendly. You could see an element of cheekiness and fun about him. But he had been tempted, like many people, into supplying heroin and crack cocaine because of the amount of money that was involved. He had come into contact with these gangsters because that's where he got his cannabis from. And so he'd been tempted into the supply. I am sure that he would not have been tempted into any other type of criminality because the opportunity wouldn't have been there to make lots of money safely. But what I witnessed with others, and in particular with him, is that over that 6 months he went from that rather cheeky 16-year-old to an extremely scary 17-year-old, because in existing within that world and survive within that world, he had to become something different. He had to be able to intimidate people, individuals. He had to be able to intimidate communities and become the gangster, because that is how that type of organised crime protects itself against policing methods. And so prohibition, in his case, and so many people's cases, shapes the personalities of our young men, and that in turn shapes the communities in which they work.